Hello and welcome to this CasaTunes video on how to use CasaTunes Smart Tasks to create a customized music interface for our fictitious company Purity Spa that is both beautiful and easy to use. Before we create our music interface, let's review some of the requirements for Purity Spa. Purity Spa provides various different spa services. They have 4 treatment rooms available, as well as a shared lobby area that includes a reception desk, a waiting area, a bar, and shop area. Each treatment room will have its own music that the therapist may select. In addition, the lobby area will have its own music. The receptionist will have complete control of the music in the lobby area, as well as shared control of the music in any of the treatment rooms. The CasaTunes solution we selected for this project includes a CT+5 music server with 5 independent music player streams and a CT 6x6 MA matrix amplifier, which is used to power the speakers in each of the treatment rooms and the common lobby area. Let's take a quick look to see how we configured the CasaTunes hardware, starting with the rooms. As you can see, we've used the first 5 zones on our matrix for the 4 treatment rooms, room A, room B, room C, room D, and the 5th zone for our lobby. In addition, you can see how we have assigned our 5 media player streamers. We've taken the first 4 CasaTunes media players and assigned these to the treatment rooms. We have called them room A player, room B player, room C player, and room D player. The 5th stream we've assigned to the lobby. Before designing our custom interface for Purity Spa, let's check out the music interface we will be creating. We have currently selected the receptionist as the current user. You can see the receptionist is selected in the app header. As mentioned previously, the receptionist is going to be able to control the music in all the treatment rooms as well as the lobby area. You will also notice that we have grouped our tasks into 2 categories, lobby and spa rooms. Categories are useful for grouping tasks and can also be used to sort our tasks, since you can reorganize the order in which the categories are displayed in this page. The spa rooms category includes a play music task for each of the treatment rooms. If we select a task, it will prompt the user to select a station from a list of predefined stations. So let's try that out. So let's play the music in treatment room A. You see how we are presented with a list of stations to select from. And when we pick a station, it not only starts playing the station, but it moves to the now playing screen for room A. Let's go back to our task page. Similarly, you can see that the lobby category includes a play music task for selecting the music to play in the lobby area. And in addition, we've created an all-off task. This task will turn off all the powered rooms when run. If we now change our current user to Therapist A, you will notice the only task available is the task to change the music in room A, because we don't want our therapist to be able to change the music in any other rooms or the lobby area. Okay, now that we know what we're going to build, let's build this interface from scratch. As we discussed in our preview, there are 5 users that will be controlling the system. The first is the receptionist, and then the 4 therapists. So let's go ahead and create the receptionist first, especially since they have access to all the tasks, and we'll select the receptionist as the current user. To access the CasaTunes Smart Tasks page, we select the menu button in the app header in either the Rooms view or the Now Playing view and select My Tasks. So let's go ahead and do that now. We select the menu option and we select My Tasks. To create a user, we select the menu option in the app header and we select Edit Users. And we want to add a user, so let's go ahead and select that. Now we're going to enter the user's name. In this case, it's going to be the receptionist. Now we can add some additional settings for the receptionist. The first thing we want to do is specify what will be in the title in their task page. And so instead of saying receptionist tasks, we're just going to name this spa music. Now let's set the user's picture to be our receptionist image. So I have uploaded these previously, but you can upload these by pressing on the plus button. Okay, and then finally, let's set the background image for this user's task page. Select Page Background and select the spa-like image. We will use the same background image for all our users. Now let's also configure the background mask so that the background image melts into the background. So we're going to select a black 75%, which works for this particular image. And now let's return back to our task page. Now that we created that user, let's set the receptionist as the current user. So we'll go ahead and change the user. We only have one user right now, so let's go ahead and select receptionist. Notice how the app header, title, and image change. It gives us a picture of our receptionist and the spa music, which is the user's title for their task page that we entered. But you can see here that we have no tasks available or assigned to this user because we have not created a task. We have 4 other users that we need to create, but we will create these later. So before creating a task, let's go ahead and create the 2 categories that we know we're going to need: spa rooms and lobby. Select the menu option in the app header and select Edit Categories. Now we select Add Category and we enter the category name. So let's enter in our first category, which is spa rooms. Let's save that. And now we're going to select a category picture that represents this grouping. So in our case, we're going to pick an image that shows the spa room. Now let's go back and add another category. This time it'll be for the lobby. And we'll enter a picture of the lobby. So at this point we have created our receptionist user and we've created the 2 categories. Great. We are now finally ready to create our first task. In this step, we are going to create the play music task for room A. So let's go ahead and select Add a Task. And let's edit the task name. And we'll call this Room A Music. Now notice that because the current user is the receptionist, when we created this task is automatically assigned to that user. Now let's assign this task to the categories. The Room A Music is going to be assigned to the spa rooms. Now let's add a play music action to this task. Select the actions and then select Add Action. Select Play Music, and now we have to fill in the play music action settings. The first thing we need to do is select the source we want to use to play this music. Since we are playing the music in room A, we will select the room A player, which in this case happens to already be selected. Next, we need to select the rooms where we want to play the music. We want to play this music in room A, so let's select it from the list. Next, we need to select the music option. and select Prompt for Music. When we select this option, the app will prompt the user using a simple wizard-like interface that we saw in our preview to select the music from a predefined list of music selections where the task is run. In the next step, Select Music, we would usually create our predefined list of music selections from a list of playlists or featured items. However, since we have not created a list of playlists or featured items, we are not going to add these to our task here, but we will show you how to do it later. Finally, we scroll down and select the Switch to Room option. This option allows us to jump to a room after the task is run. Typically, if you configure this option, you would jump to the room where the music is playing, which in this case would be room A. However, we are actually going to select Selected Room instead. The advantage of selecting this option instead of picking room A is that we are going to create a copy of this task for rooms B, C, and D, and we will not have to change this option for each task. Now that we have configured our play music settings, let's return to the task page. Notice that there is a warning icon being displayed in the task. And this is because we have not selected any music for this task. If we try to run the task now, we're going to get a pop-up displaying. The pop-up is going to be displayed informing us that there are no music items to play. All right, let's go ahead and fix that. Select the back button and navigate into room A. Here we are going to select a few COM radio stations that are perfect for spa music. Of course, you could add any playlist, albums, tracks, stations from any of the music services that CasaTunes support. So let's go ahead and select these stations. Let's go ahead and select Pick Music. Then we're going to select COM Radio. We're going to go ahead and select Wellness. And now we're going to select the handful of stations. Let's go ahead and add COM Radio Spa. So let's go ahead and we select the menu option for COM Radio Spa. And you'll see now that there's this option to add this music selection to our spa music task. So let's go ahead and select that. And now it asks us to which task we want to add this to. We have already created one task so far, Room A Music, so let's go ahead and add it to that. So we've added one music item for our task to select from. Let's go ahead and add some additional ones. We're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and create Zen. Let's go ahead and create Aura, Feng Shui, Aromatherapy, and let's see here. Oh, Meditate, that sounds like a good one. Deep Massage, that makes sense. And Treatment Room. Okay, that is enough. Okay, now that we have selected all our music, let's go ahead and go back to our home page. And now we want to go back to our task page. So we'll go back to the task page, which is called Spa Music. And you can see now that the warning sign is no longer there because we have added those music items to our task. If we want to see what music items are added to this task, let's go and edit the task and go into our actions, play music actions. And now we can see under select music that there are 9 items that have been selected. So when we run this task, we will be prompted to select one of these 9 items from our list. Okay, so let's go back now to our task page. The next step is for us to create the task for the other rooms as well as the lobby. Now, in essence, there's just a copy of this task, except we want to change the source and we want to change the room in where the music plays. So to copy the task, we select the menu option for the task, select Copy Task, and that creates a splitting image of the Room A music task. So now let's customize this to be Room B music. So go ahead and edit the task, select the task name, change it to Room B music. Now we need to go into the actions, play music action, and now we want to select Room B source, the Room B player source, and we also need to change the room. So let's go ahead and deselect Room A and select Room B. And now we have set up our Room B music task. Okay, so I am now going to create the Room C music task, the Room D music task, and the lobby music task, and I'll see you on the other side. Once we have created all our tasks, we now need to reassign the lobby music task from our spa rooms and add it to the lobby category. So to do that, we go ahead and edit this task, and we change which category this task is assigned to. In this case, we're going to select lobby and deselect spa rooms. Okay. Now let's say that we want to list the lobby task before the spa room task. The way to do this is to go ahead and select the menu option in the app header, select Edit Categories, and now you can see on the far right hand side you have these reorder controls. So you can just move your category in the order that you want them. So if we want to move the lobby before the spa rooms, we can just move it above spa rooms. And when we go back, we see that our tasks have been reordered. The next step is to add our therapist users and assign the appropriate tasks to these users. Let's create the user Therapist A. Again, we select the menu option in the app header and select Edit Users. We then select Add User, and we enter Therapist A as the username. And now let's go ahead and select the user picture for our therapist. And we'll go ahead and provide the same image that we used for our receptionist. So this is the background image for our task page. And we're going to go ahead and apply our black 75% mask. Okay. I'm going to go ahead now and create the users B, C, and D. After we created all our users, we need to assign the tasks to the various users. Let's go back to our task page. And when we select Room A and edit this task, we're now going to assign this task not only to the receptionist, but also to Therapist A. Similarly, we do the same thing for B, and we do the same thing for C, and we do the same thing for D. So now if I'm to change the user for Therapist A as an example, the only tasks that are available to Therapist A is the Room A music, which is exactly what we want because we don't want the therapists to be able to change the music in any other room except for the room that they are working in. Similarly, if I was to select Therapist B, Therapist B can only change the music in Room B. So that is how that works. Okay. Now we need to create the all-off task. However, this task is only available to the receptionist. So let's change our user back to the receptionist. And we're going to add this task to the lobby. So let's go ahead and create a new task. And this time we're going to call this all off. It's going to be assigned to the receptionist. We're going to assign the category where this all off task will appear to be in the lobby. And we're going to schedule this task. We want basically for the all off task to run at 6 p.m. every weekday. So let's go ahead and schedule this task. We press the plus sign to add a scheduled item. And we can see here that by default, the task is scheduled to run at 8 a.m. every day of the week, or during the weekdays. So let's go ahead and change that. We're going to change the start time, and we're going to change it to 6 p.m. And we already have weekdays, which means that we're going to run this task on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we do not have to change that. Okay, now that we've created our schedule, let's go ahead and create the task itself. So select Actions and Add Action, and this time we're going to select the Control Rooms action. So the first thing we need to do is select which rooms this applies to. Now in this case, we could either select all rooms or all powered rooms. It really doesn't matter, but we'll go ahead and just select all rooms. And now what we want to do is we want to power off the rooms. So we do want to set the room power, and we want to set the power to off, which is what it's currently selected to. And that's all we have to do. And now we have created a all off task, assigned it to the lobby category. It's scheduled. You can see the icon here is an alarm clock, which indicates that this is a scheduled task. And this task, you can either run it manually by just clicking on this task, and that will turn off all our rooms, or it will be automatically scheduled to run at 6 p.m. every day of the week, every weekday. And finally, just like we have the alarm clock here, this icon over here in the lobby music task, this tells us that when we run this task, we are going to be prompted for user input. So in the all off, there's nothing to be prompted for, so that icon does not appear. Just the alarm icon appears to say that this all off is scheduled. So we are very close to being done. But to make this music interface more bulletproof, we want to be able to lock down each user's phone or tablet that will be used by a therapist or the receptionist, so they cannot change or edit our tasks, so that they always start up in the appropriate task page for the user. And we want to limit their navigation so they can only navigate between the task page and the now playing page. So let's see how we can accomplish this. So let's go ahead and select the menu option in the header and select Settings. And then we're going to select App Settings. We are going to scroll down to our Smart Task settings. And here we are going to disable task editing. And we are going to set this app on this device to always start in the task page. And we are going to go ahead and lock down the tasks. Now, when we go back to our spa page, you will see, first of all, that the edit task options are not available anywhere in the task, in each of these task items, these task buttons. There's no 3 dots here, so we can't edit them. And secondly, when we click on the menu option here, you'll see that there is no options to create a new task, edit a user, or edit categories. So we have now sealed off this user from making any changes. However, you may have noticed that we're not quite there yet because the user could go to the settings and go into the app settings and change those settings again. So the good news is that there's a way for us to lock that down. So if we go back to the settings, you'll see here that there's a password settings that we can set. And we can set a settings password, which will allow us to control what settings a user can change. So when we set up a settings password, we have to provide the password itself. So I'm going to use Purity. And then in case we forget our password, you can always have your password emailed back to you. So we have to give it a recovery email address. So let's go ahead and say this is david@purityspa.com. And we go ahead and set that. So after you enter in your password, you're now presented with a list of settings that you can either enable for this user or disable for this user. So in general, what I would suggest is for these particular users in this particular case, we do not need to enable any of these features except for the Smart Tasks feature. And now when we go back to the home, now that we have password protected our settings, if the user goes to select those settings, the user is going to be prompted to enter in the password to unlock the settings. And with that, my friends, we have completed our spa music interface, a beautiful interface that is very, very simple for the users to use. Thank you for your time.